What exactly Machiavelli has taught me for the past few years. Imagine this. You're standing in a room where every smile hides a blade, every handshake is a calculation, and every promise is a gamble. This is the world Machiavelli saw, not as it should be, but as it is. A world where morality is a luxury, power is the only language, and survival demands a mind sharp enough to cut through illusion. Here's the unsettling truth. You've been taught to play by rules that don't exist, to believe fairness is rewarded, honesty is always valued, and virtue alone will protect you. But history whispers otherwise. The winners, the ones who shape empires, fortunes, and destinies, operate by a different code. A code written not in ideals, but in blood, strategy, and cold, unflinching realism. What if everything you've been told about how the world works is a carefully crafted lie? What if the price of your idealism is your own defeat? Machiavelli's greatest lesson isn't about cruelty. It's about seeing. Seeing the game beneath the game, the truth beneath the pretty lies. It's about understanding that power doesn't care about your morals. It only cares who wields it. But here's the real question. Do you have the courage to stare into that abyss? To accept that the world is not a fairy tale, but a chessboard, and you've been playing blindfolded? The answer will change everything. And the first move is yours. The real trap isn't the world's ruthlessness. It's our refusal to see it. We cling to myths of fairness because the alternative is terrifying. That we are alone in a universe indifferent to justice. Nietzsche called this the will to ignorance, the desperate need to believe in a moral order, even as evidence crushes it. Jung saw it as the shadow we refuse to acknowledge, the dark half of human nature we bury beneath platitudes. Why does this blindness persist? Because society rewards it. From childhood, we're conditioned to equate goodness with naivety, to mistake cynicism for wisdom. Schopenhauer understood this. Most people would rather be comfortably deceived than painfully enlightened. Huxley warned of a culture doped on distraction, where truths too harsh are drowned in noise. And Sartre? He saw the agony of freedom. The moment you realize no one is coming to save you, that every choice is yours, and every consequence is yours to bear. Machiavelli's genius was his brutal clarity. Power doesn't vanish if you ignore it. It grows stronger in the dark. The ruler who feigns morality while acting ruthlessly will always outmaneuver the one who hesitates, who waits for some cosmic fairness to intervene. But here's the twist. This isn't just about politics or war. It's in your career, your relationships, your life. Every time you've been betrayed, outmaneuvered, or left wondering, why didn't I see this coming? That's the hidden game at work. The question now isn't whether the world is ruthless. It's whether you'll stay blind or learn to play. Think of every time you've watched someone less capable rise faster, someone less ethical win bigger, someone less deserving take what should have been yours. This isn't coincidence. It's the silent law of power in motion. The consequences of ignoring Machiavelli's lessons aren't just philosophical. They're carved into the bones of your daily life. Cognitive science reveals our brains are wired for hope, not realism. The optimism bias tricks us into believing virtue alone will protect us, while the just world fallacy whispers that fairness must prevail. But history laughs at these illusions. The Roman senators who dismissed Caesar as a populist puppet found their daggers useless when he turned their own rules against them. The honest employee who trusts the system watches office politicians claim their promotions. Cultural conditioning amplifies this blindness. We're taught to equate strategy with manipulation, ambition with greed, self-interest with sin. Yet nature itself operates on ruthless efficiency. Predators don't debate morality with prey. The 21st century's great paradox? We've never had more information, yet we're more susceptible than ever to emotional manipulation by those who understand power's true levers. The invisible cost compounds daily. Missed opportunities, squandered influence, quiet resignations to how things are. But Machiavelli's coldest insight cuts deepest. The greatest risk isn't acting ruthlessly, it's failing to recognize when others are. Now comes the turning point. You keep paying that price? The moment of awakening begins with a heresy. What if the rules were never real? Not in the way you were taught. Machiavelli's true gift wasn't cynicism, it was liberation. To see clearly is to break the chains of expectation. To realize morality and power aren't opposites, but tools to be wielded with precision. The shift is psychological before it's strategic. 1. Kill the naif within. Stop interpreting the world through how it should work. 2. Study the game. Every interaction has unspoken power dynamics. Timing. Sometimes the lion, sometimes the fox, never the lamb. This isn't about becoming ruthless. It's about becoming awake. When FDR outmaneuvered America's oligarchs, or Mandela transitioned from prisoner to president, they demonstrated Machiavelli's deepest truth. True power flows from understanding human nature, not fighting it. The question that remains will shake your identity. Who could you become if you stopped pretending the game doesn't exist? Here's the revelation that changes everything. Machiavelli wasn't teaching evil, he was teaching responsibility. The prince who fails to protect his people because he fears getting blood on his hands isn't moral. He's cowardly. The same applies to you. The ultimate truth is this: power is gravity. You can deny it, but you still live under its laws. The difference between wisdom and corruption lies not in whether you wield power, but why and how. History's greatest rebels mastered this duality. Augustus played the humble servant of Rome while methodically dismantling its republic. Catherine the Great couched brutal expansion in Enlightenment ideals. They understood what most never grasp: power wears many masks, and the wise choose theirs deliberately. Your rebellion starts not with becoming what you hate, but with rejecting the false binary of saint or tyrant. Sun Tzu won battles without fighting. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire with self-restraint. They proved the highest mastery, using power to create order while resisting its intoxication. Your life's trajectory hinges on one choice. Will you remain the chess piece, moved by forces you pretend not to see? Or will you become the player, eyes open, calculating, but with a purpose beyond yourself? Machiavelli's final lesson: the greatest power is knowing when not to use all the power you have. The board is set. Your move begins now.